At ease, brothers. Do you ever wonder why your life just won't pan out? You know what I'm saying? Like you're doing the exact same thing that people that are winning are doing. You're reading all the same books. You're paying all the top dollars to go to lectures and seminars. You know what I'm saying? You following all the right people on social media. You watching all the right YouTube videos. But your life is still not panning out. You going to church Sundays and Wednesdays. You getting on bended knee every single night. But your life is still not doing what you know it's capable of doing. Like there's a reason for that, brothers. And I'm gonna tell you this, man. You can go to the Harvard law schools of the world. You can put yourself in the most prestigious of circles. If you don't understand this one thing, man, your life will never do what you want it to do, man. And the answer is simple, man. Man simply doesn't know who he is. And I know that sounds so cliche, like, oh, know thyself and find. I'm talking about literally, man needs to know who he is. Kind of like I said in I think yesterday's video, man, like man needs to understand what was known, what was understood, how was life lived, how was this human experience experienced before mankind came and put his whole spiel on it. Christianity, Islam, Buddha, before that, how did man think, operate, and live? See, by default, brothers, you knew yourself at birth, but just like everybody else, man, due to conditioning, man, that by the time you got to the point where you could speak and actually think for yourself, your truth had been, distorted so much. So it's all about a man knowing himself. You know what I'm saying? You think you're just having this human ego experience, but I'm telling you, man, the far majority of men have no idea that they have no idea about their true identity when it comes to their spiritual self. You know what I'm saying? And this is the thing, bro. One thing is this, man. And this is what I understood by just kind of observing the world. When the world hears the word marriage, right? Instantly, I already know some of y'all's mind went somewhere. You're hearing wedding bells. You're hearing rice being thrown at the altar. You're hearing divorce. You're hearing alimony. See, the word marriage has been hijacked, and all these things have been put to it. So now man can't even understand the concept of marriage, which means he can't understand the concept of himself. If you don't understand the concept of marriage, you can't understand yourself. You can't know who you are. It's impossible. Because marriage is not something that takes place at the courthouse. Marriage is not something take place when two people, quote unquote, fall in love and go to the church and join. That's not what marriage is. Something that can be seen everywhere. Marriage is something that has to take place for this third dimensional plane to exist, brothers. Once you understand that, man, it begins to open several chambers in your mind, brother. Nothing in this realm can take place without being married. What is being married, soul? Married is when two different entities, two or more, come together and agree to form one new thing. That's what marriage is. When two or more things come together to form one truth. Right? So just look around you, man. Something as simple as a bottle of water. When hydrogen and oxygen or whatever come together and say, you know what, we're going to agree to do this when we come together. They come together. Now this is what we are. That's a marriage. Nothing around you can take place without going through that process. Nothing. Nothing in the third dimensional plane can come together without going through that process. So once you can look around and see the power of marriage, now man can begin to understand himself. He had to say, you know what? Okay, if nothing can consist without being married, then who am I? What do I consist of? And I'm going to tell you, man, that's where a lot of knowledge has been hidden. In my book, that's what we go down through, man. The hidden art of creation, the teachings of the ascended masters. That's what's been hidden from you. But you have to understand this, brothers. You have to understand this. See, you've been, when a man is walking around roaming around this planet and his world is not panning out, and he said, I'm doing all the right things and it's still not working, it's because your other half, it's because that thing that you're supposed to be married to has been hijacked and hidden from you. So you don't even understand the concept. In my book, man, I say, man finding himself is the first marriage of man. That's the first marriage of man. You know what I'm saying? And I'll tell you this, the reason why most relationships don't work is because a man is trying to go through the second marriage of man, which is being married to a woman, without conducting the first. Until a man finds himself first, until a man has that first marriage, his life will never pan out like it's supposed to. So it's all about identifying that spiritual side of yourself and forming one truth. And it's a process to it, man. But I'm gonna tell you this: if you don't do it, your life is nothing but chaos. Your life is nothing but chaos. Until a man understands his full creative power, until a man understands who he is, until a man understands how to first marry himself, his life is gonna suck. And it's not gonna suck just because of hard times. It's not going to suck just because trials and tribulations that he doesn't understand keeps coming his way. It's going to suck because he's going to be churning. He's going to be grinding. He's going to be getting up every day, going through the process, not knowing that it takes less elbow grease than he thinks and takes more of just an understanding. It takes more of an understanding to live the world you want to live, man. It takes identifying both your ego self, your spiritual self, understanding how they're supposed to come together as one, understanding what that marriage is supposed to be like, and bringing God into self. Where two come together, I am there also. You know what I'm saying? It's all about marrying yourself, man. It's a powerful thing, brother. It's eye-opening. And this is the reason why most relationships don't work, right? When you think about marriage in its true form, when you think about everything in this plane, everything you look around and see coming together on one accord, having one frequency thought, saying, okay, we're going to come together and be this. You can look at the relationship between men and women today, man, and I'm going to tell you this. It might have been like this several years ago, but today, man, it's very few relationships where a man and a woman are on the same page. Very few. Now, I'm not saying that they don't like each other. I'm not saying that they don't love each other. I'm not saying that they're not highly attracted to each other. I'm not saying they don't have high and pleasurable levels of intimacy together. But to be on one accord is rare, brothers. Is rare. Most relationships today, man, consist of a man having his own agenda, a woman having her own agenda, and they kind of come together to say, you know what? If both of our agendas work, life will be good. Life will be good. Sisters like, you know what? This is what I have going on in life. Brothers like, this is what I have going on in life, and we're going to be winning. And once we bring our the spoils of our labor together, like life will be good. We'll be able to have that bag. We'll be able to get the high. We'll be able to do all this stuff. They're strong arm in life. Yeah, it can look like a win, man, but they have no idea what life would be like if they were actually married. I'm not talking about wedding bells and certificates. Not saying that there's nothing wrong with that, but I'm not talking about that. That's not what marriage is. That's not what marriage is. You've been fooled to believe that. Marriage is when a man and a woman come together in agreement on one accord. I'm going to tell you this. There are some people that have certificates and had big church weddings, right? Been together for 20 years and they're not married. At the same time, you have some people, man, that could have had, they could have met one night at a bar, had a one night stand, been talking for a week or two, and are on one accord on where they're going, and they're actually married. You know what I'm saying? So marriage is not what people say it is. Marriage is coming together on one accord. And I'm telling you, brother, people have no idea how powerful this is. But when you understand how powerful it is, man, you understand why the quote unquote forces that be are making it such a making it so easy for people to go. Why do you think they're making it so easy for couples to be spread apart? Because somebody somewhere understands the power in it. I can make a video right now and says, hey, you know what? Two people should love each other. It'll get one view. I can make a video saying, this is why you should hate all women on the planet. It probably get 1 million+ views. Figuratively speaking. It's because the forces that be understand the power in that union. But see, they've thrown a curveball because, see, man can't even complete the first marriage. But you have no idea. You have no idea how powerful it is, man. Once I understood this is when my life changed. This one thing right now I'm talking about. The marriages of man is by far the most important thing a man must understand. Once I understood that I must marry been saying it for years. Once I understood that I must marry my higher and lower self and become on one accord, my life went through the roof, man. I gained that Midas touch. Anything I touch turns to prosperity, man. Because I understand the way this world is working now. You know what I'm saying? So when a man finds himself, think about this. Just to truly understand the power of a man and a woman coming together. When a man finds himself and brings God into himself and is now can create his own world, think about how powerful that is when he meets a woman that's married herself as well, and now they come together on another one accord. But you have no idea how powerful that is. It's not even spoken of how powerful that is, man. This is what I said in the singular truth. Take the second marriage of man, which is the union of man and woman. Imagine the power that is had when two balanced beings that have first married themselves and are one with God come together to create life on one accord. When man understands the power in this, he will see why healthy relationships have become a threat to modern day society and why man and woman have been divided and conquered. Think for a moment the power that is generated when two forces join. They will be able to create new worlds around themselves effortlessly. And the mountains that require removal will become their footstools. See, once you understand, I'm gonna tell you this, brothers. I'm gonna tell you this, and this is when a lot of the red pill rhetoric started to kind of fall to the wayside with me. Once I first understood myself, then I could look and understand the second marriage of man. I could understand the dynamic in that. And so now when I hear all this rhetoric, I'm simply saying, you know what? I'm not saying what they're saying is not true. I'm not saying that women are moving a certain way, men are doing, I'm not saying all this stuff. But the thing is, once you find self and start moving in a different energy, brother, you see the world different. The world responds to you different. Let me say that. Once a man marries himself, the world responds to you different. Any woman that comes into your realm is gonna conduct herself different. Any woman that comes in your realm is gonna have already married herself. I'm gonna tell you this, man. I'm no saint, and I can tell you this, man. Some years ago, I messed with some women that, to be honest, man, I don't even know how they got my time years ago. I don't even know how they made it. I don't even know how they made it through the first line of defense, bro. I'm talking about I messed with some thotty women. I messed with some women that were just morally challenged. You know what I'm saying? But it's like once I found self, even when I still was attracted to these women, they just kind of disintegrated. And a whole nother echelon of women started coming into my life. Because now I understand the thing. You know what I'm saying? If a woman hasn't found herself, she won't even be comfortable in my presence, bro. That's how powerful this stuff is I'm talking about. You know what I'm saying? You might have thotty women jumping in the DM now. You might have women that are married that are jumping into your DM now. But brother, once you find self, once you first marry yourself, brother, you get in a whole another league of women. By default. And again, by default, you'll just start moving like a king, man. Even when brothers be talking now, man, talking about having, rosters and having all these women, or associating themselves, being intimate with married women. There was a point in my life where I was like, okay, if that's how a brother moves, that's just how he moves, right? Never been my thing. But I always say, you know what? That's how that brother moves. Now I'm understanding that a man that wants to have a huge rotation of random women. Now I'm not talking about brothers that are into the poly and got 2 or 3 wives, because that's a whole other something else. That's a group of people, again, coming together on one accord. And that's actually a higher level of marriage, which if you read the book, you'll see that, right? The third marriage of man. But I used to think, you know what? That's just how a brother moves. But now I understand. But that's peasant talk. That's peasant thinking. I'll get you a rotation of women. Mess with some of these low vibrational. I'm gonna say this, brothers. There are a lot of married women that are entertaining men. Trust and believe. And a lot of y'all know this, and a lot of y'all, this is why you saying, hey, I'm never getting married. Because you in these streets, you in these clubs, you in these bars, hell, you in these malls. You're in these Home Depots, and you see these married women that are straight up shooting shots. You know what I'm saying? So to even entertain a woman like that, brother, to me, man, that's peasant thinking. You know what I'm saying? You can't move as a god and operate like that. You just can't do it. Because you understand the thing now. You really understand what marriage is. You know what I'm saying? And once you understand what's taking place all around us, you're not going to entertain no BS like that, bro. You won't do it. You won't do it. One night stands? I couldn't even imagine. I couldn't even imagine exchanging energy with a woman that I have no idea what's going on inside of her. Because I understand that once we come together, brother, if she's moving sour, I'm gonna set myself up for destruction. Destruction. And a lot of y'all brothers whose world is in chaos, it's like that, and you don't know why it is. It's because you're entertaining women that aren't on one accord with you. And it's not even about one night stands. A lot of you brothers are married to women that aren't on one accord with you. A lot of you brothers have a mission in life. You have a goal. You know what I'm saying? And when you met her, you told her, hey, you know what? This is who I am. This is where I'm going. But the fact that she was so fine, the fact that she was so cute, you disregarded what she said after that. She's like, oh, okay. Well, this is what I'm about. Now, she might have said it in a million different words. She might have said it via her actions. But she told you who she was. And now that you're in union with this woman, whether it's legal marriage or not, now that you're in union with this woman, your world is being created with that. It's not an option, brother. That's how everything exists in this third dimensional plane. I've been saying it forever. But until you understand it, man, you won't understand why your world is in chaos. Like I said, you might be going to Sunday and Wednesday service every night. You might be praying. You might be paying your tithes. You might be at Habitat for Humanity, giving back. You might be going to get your degree. You might be showing up to work 5 minutes early and staying 10 minutes late every day. You might be doing all the right things, man, but you're saying, you know what? My life is still crap. And I'm telling you, man, it's not all those things that the world told you. Hey, this is how you win in life. This is what you need to do. You don't need to do none of that stuff, man. First, you have to find self. You have to identify self, and you have to marry yourself, bro. Until a man does that, man, his life is going to be in utter chaos. So this is the reason why your life isn't panning out. This is the reason why your relationships are a detriment to you. You ever met a woman, man, and you like, you know what, man, she's sweet, man, she's kind, she's this, all this stuff, and life still won't pan out. And what I mean by that is you get this woman that's sweet, she's doing nothing wrong and yada yada yada, and life still won't do what it's supposed to do. It's because y'all are on one accord. Once y'all get on one accord, brother, you will feel that power exchange. I'm gonna say this: if you are a brother and you get with a man, I mean, let me say that again. Pause. If you're a man and you get with a sister and you don't instantly feel that energetic, force coming into your life, you're probably getting robbed. You're probably getting robbed. I'm gonna say this, and a lot of you brothers that are in the creative space, you really understand this. Like if you are a brother that makes content, if you are a brother that makes music, sings, produces, if you are a brother that's into art, anything that you're doing to use your creative power, and it ain't just about like art stuff. It's anything. You know what I'm saying? Like my brother West that owns a construction company. That's creative power. Anything you're doing to use your God essence to create in this world or to deliver a product in this world. When a woman comes in your life, one or two things are going to happen, brother, and these are not optional. One or two things are going to take place. One, you're going to just wake up after spending quality time with that woman, man, and feel all these thoughts coming into your mind. You're going to feel this burst of energy. You're going to feel this burst of motivation. You know what I'm saying? Or all that creative power that you had in the past will start dwindling down. There's no gray area with that, brothers. Once you join forces with a woman, I don't care if it's a one night stand, and y'all become intimate and get to exchanging fluids and energies and thoughts, and y'all are married, bro. Y'all are married. Your world is being created based on what that woman brings to the table, energetically. So either she's adding to you or she's taking away, man. You have to understand this, man. You have to understand this, because a lot of y'all brothers will get with women, be drained. And again, just because she thick in the thighs, you gonna make it work. You gonna make it work. I'm telling you, man, y'all brothers better wake up. But again, man, once a man marries himself, his whole world changes. Whole world changes. Not only is he now the architect of his own world. Now that the women that are coming into his life to form that second union, brother, again, they're of a whole different caliber.